Former President Donald Trump returned to Butler, Pennsylvania, the site of his first assassination attempt, for a rally this weekend. Trump was joined on stage by Elon Musk, who literally jumped in the air, a moment captured in a photo that launched many memes. I have to know what you thought of this display. I saw some of your threads, and I wrote on threads, Elon's tummy just beat out Dukakis in a tank. He said he was, same thing with Howard Dean. It was so embarrassing. It was so awkward. He called himself Dark MAGA. A lot of people are calling him Dork MAGA. I can't imagine Trump being happy about any of this, but what do you think of this? Also, Trump, by the way, gave a speech, and I noted this on Chris Wallace this weekend. His cognitive difficulties are so apparent. And the New York Times finally wrote a big story about it this week. I've been saying this for a while, the cognitive exchange. It's worse. I mean, he says crazy things all the time. This is a whole new level of cognitive failure on his part. Your thoughts on the Elon jump, whatever it was?
Well, let's go in reverse. There was a lot there. Let's go in reverse order. With respect to his cognitive function or dysfunction, both of us said this early and often to the bother of many of our listeners, and that is, Biden was just too fucking old. Biology says hold my beer around what you think or what you're hoping is going to happen. If Trump is reelected, he will be older than Biden was when he was too old to run for president, except Trump has supposedly a history of mental impairment or dementia.
His father had dementia, yeah.
He refuses to release the records of his cognitive tests, and he's obese. So, folks, I mean, Biden was too old. This guy is way too old. Now, as it relates to Trump and Musk, or as I say, sissy SpaceX, he's literally, look, the reality is for the campaign, for their core constituents, it was probably a good move. A lot of people really admire, for a lot of understandable reasons, Musk. Mm-hmm. To me, it represents the two of them on stage, and how much love and adulation they get represents something deeper and darker. And that is the aspirational vision of masculinity represented by these guys has turned so coarse, so vile, being such, between the two of them, they have 17 kids by six different women. Mm-hmm. With Musk, you have a guy who, when he gets to a position of power, accuses his workers of sex crimes falsely such that they have to leave their home, does not pay contracted, legally obligated severance, dead names, says his daughter is dead to him. And yet we have VCs, including those that come on our podcast, and make all sorts of fucking excuses for the guy. And what I have found is that, generally speaking, it represents this dark peanut butter and chocolate zeitgeist in our society, where we have conflated masculinity with coarseness, with cruelty, and some fucked up vision that as long as you're rich, you can treat women like shit, you can be a shitty dad, a shitty employer. I mean, these guys, it was literally like the parade of poor role models for young men.
Yep, it really
was.
And
it's just so upsetting that, and it reflects something that over the last 40 years, people have gotten so sick of politicians grin fucking them, never saying anything impolite, never actually saying what might be going on, trying to please everyone, lying to everybody, being PG-13 at best. They were just so ready for someone to come in and, quite frankly, just be really coarse. And these two are literally the Fred and Ginger of, in my view, what it means to not be a real man.
Yeah, I would agree. I would. It's interesting because I do think I agree. There's a lot of people who really do revere Elon Musk, but boy, did he look dorky. Boy, did he. That was weird. And Trump's face, I thought, was interesting several times. I don't think he liked it much at all, actually. I think he was like, what is he doing taking up all my fucking oxygen? It's like two desperate people, desperate for attention sponges, fighting with each other kind of things, with the jumping and the weirdness and, who knows what he was on, it just was, I thought it was embarrassing, actually. It was embarrassing.
It's like my first marriage, our first home, we had one vanity in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. It got ugly. It just got ugly. Wait, I need to look at me. No, I need to look at me.
He seemed uncomfortable in several of the pictures. It was like Elon needs the attention more, and it's embarrassing. It's like a desperate, he makes Trump look humble by comparison. I have to say it was weird. Although Trump was meandering all over the place.
But just to circle back, I think it's good for Trump. I just think there's this they both, Trump and Musk, have this, I don't know, this zealot-like this cultish religious-like following, and it's kind of the same. It's a little bit of the same person. It's kind of the.
I think there can be. This is Highlander to me. There can be only one. I think they're going to have such a falling out. It's going to be delicious to watch when it comes.
Yeah, it'll be after the election.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Well, we'll see who wins.